Times when, as a kid, my brother and I used to play, and we would pretend we could create anything or do anything. Magic, right? If I was magic, what would I do? And magic at the time seemed like I wave my hand and anything I want appears, disappears, is created. And so I wave my hand and there's a billion gold bars in the front yard, never mind the fact that a billion wouldn't have fit there, but that sort of thing. And that was the truth that I wanted at the time. My truth at that moment was I would create a billion gold bars or $1 billion or some other number. I think mostly in those days I used the word million because billion was an incomprehensible number at that time. And there was even a program on TV called The Millionaire, I think, and it was about a philanthropist who secretly gave away $1 million to someone, and it was it was a millionaire. That when I was young, that was a big number. I guess that tells you how old I am, because now $1 million isn't even very much money. But anyway, I wanted to talk today about the truth. And the truth is sort of this woo-woo subject that we sometimes dig into, and everybody's got their own truth, and truth is relative, and the truth of one political party or the other political party, or one side of the war or the other side of the war. And I wanted to get more fundamental than that. And here's the thing. I act every minute of every day according to what I know is true, or what I believe with all my heart is true. If I believe that I need to act in a way that is greedy because I need to look out for me, then I do that, and I don't care very much about other people's feelings or the consequences. And I did that during years when I was struggling deeply with depression, decades actually. I pretended I tried to be, something else, but the truth was I was acting in my own interest because I didn't even understand anything else. And one of the fun things about growing up, I guess, or I don't think it's growing up, getting a little bit more experience is the struggles that I've had, the pain, the misery, the hurt, the depression, addictions, attempted suicides even, has taught me a new truth. And that is two things. One, there is a universal and absolute truth. I didn't used to know that. I used to think that whatever I thought was true was true. And while it is a fact that whatever I believe is true drives my actions, what I didn't used to do at least is follow that through. Okay, I'm doing this because I know this is true and therefore this, and I had a whole string of consequences that come from that, but they run into the fact that there's an untruth somewhere, and then it falls apart. Okay, I'll give you an example instead of being sort of obtuse about it. I used to believe if I make a lot of money, then I can buy all this stuff and then I'll be happy. And that's what I need to do. And I'll have to make this money, whatever I have to do it, however hard I have to work. So that was the circle. Do whatever I had to do to get a lot of money because that meant I was happy. And then I would be also cool and all of the rest of the sort of progress through that. And the problem is the false. There's a false thing in there, and that is that money equals happiness. Money buys access and money buys opportunity, and you can do stuff, but it doesn't buy happiness. So when we think about truth, it has to be something that stays consistent and doesn't have one of those breakdowns. What I learned finally is that I could never get enough of what I didn't really need, because what I didn't really need was never going to satisfy me, and that included more cars, boats, trains, positions, cash, vice president, senior president, CE, whatever, after my name. None of that actually made me happy. And it was something that I thought I needed. I had to do all this and earn all this in order to be cool, to be happy, to be powerful. Do this to be that, or do this to get that. And I used to believe that, and consequently I was driven all the time because I had more to do, and I felt constantly behind the eight ball, overwhelmed, struggling. I'll never get caught up. Oh, I'm behind. And that's the feeling of having a 200-item to-do list, and you cross off 3 and add 6. And so it gets longer and longer, and you feel perpetually behind. What if life really isn't like that? What if the truth is, at this moment, you're exactly where you need to be, And it doesn't matter if you've had struggles or problems or even made stupid choices like I made a lot of to get you right where you are. What if, just go with me here for a minute, what if the real truth is you're where you need to be right now? And the only question that matters is, where are you headed now? What if that is the only question that matters? Where are you headed? Are you headed toward light? Are you headed towards, I put this background of this long background of all these rocks going out to infinity on purpose because I love it. You know, the horizon ends the rocks and everything else, but it looks like stepping stones. Where am I headed? Well, where I'm headed right now is I'm writing books and music and podcasts and appearing on podcasts, but I only have one goal. Where I'm going is I have committed this year to help 10 million people to discover, to develop, and to serve with their divine gifts. That presupposes the truth that you have a divine gift. It presupposes also that you and I are happiest when we serve with those divine gifts, and that the other things, like figuring out how to make money with those things, is actually easy, and it's not trivial, it's important, but it's not difficult to do. It just takes some dedication and work. And we have more opportunity now than we ever have because of the internet and the ability to sell all over the world. When this Ukrainian crisis started, Joy, my wife, is Ukrainian. She wanted badly to help some folks over there, and so she jumped online to find sellers in Ukraine, and she rented a bunch of Airbnbs, of course, that we never were going to go to send money, and she bought a bunch of digital downloads from sellers in Ukraine, patterns, and some of them were really beautiful. And she actually had a contact with one of the ladies that she bought one of the patterns from, because now that lady, I think, is in Turkey, and she's now able to sell her real products and services again, which are some beautifully embroidered things. But Joy bought some digital downloads. My point in saying all that is we've never had more opportunity to share and to share our gifts, knowledge, talents, and that includes making money with everybody in the world. I mean, it used to be, down the street, down the block, in the city, and if you ran big ads in the newspaper, maybe, in another city or state. Today, it's all over the world. And I watched that. My wife, Joy, has also been an eBay seller forever. And so we have shipped. I used to be the packing and shipping guy, and I still am, but she doesn't sell as much glassware. I remember packing a box of glassware we bought in Mexico, and I can't remember the name of the artist, but it was a particular kind of glass, and he was well known, and it was expensive, and she had it, and the guy paid $1,000 for it. And I double boxed it and shipped it, and he was an airline pilot, and he was going to take it to Germany, but we shipped it to Florida, and then he was going to, quote, repack it. And then so for overseas transport, and he wrote back to Joy and said, wow, it was so well packed, I never touched it again. So we got really good at packing and shipping, but the point is it was going all over the world. And there's no way we would have been able to even think about that without the internet and our ability to touch the whole world, right? And my books I've sold around the world, and my coaching clients are in Australia and Mexico and everywhere. That kind of stuff I never could have done before. So creating value and money with your gifts and talents is easy. Easier now than it's ever been. Write a book, make a course. All you have to do is do that. And people just have a story. I can't, I'm not good enough. What I have to say isn't that important. And the truth, which is the name of this episode, is yes, it is. The truth is yes, it's important. The truth is your story, your soul, your heart is valuable. It matters. It means something. And there are a group of people that would not only be helped, but pay to be helped by your story. One of the things I love to do more than anything is help people eliminate that story. Probably I love it so much because I had such a terrible story. I had such a terrible story of self-loathing about myself. I hated myself. I never believed I could do, fill in the blank, a whole list of things, and gradually all those stories are gone. And I now know that the true creative power of the universe is love, and that if we learn to, and we call it love, that's not a complete word, but the power of creation is in your hands. And the tools and instructions and methods of creation and of sharing are more available now than they've ever been, whether it's looking someone in the eyes and just loving them to death with the intensity of your presence, or whether it's writing something or creating a course or a book or a pattern that you sell from Ukraine to my wife about an embroidered scarf, or instructions about how to handle a particular problem in a garden or anything else. That opportunity, that is the truth. And the truth is also, it's never too late. The truth is also, you have capability, skill, and power to bless lives, to mold your own experience with your thinking and your speaking, and to help others do the same. We all have this yearning. It's funny. Every time I talk to somebody, I've got 3 meetings on Lunch Club later this week. And Lunch Club is this AI-powered thing I've been doing for now nearly 16 months. A client in San Diego invited me in February of last year to join, and I have. And it keeps track for you. And I see that I've done now 150-something meetings. Nearly every one of those people, it's so funny. I ask them what they do, and they talk about whatever they do, but they talk about it in terms of helping people, serving. Those are the words. Oh, I love helping people, whatever, with their financial planning, with their insurance needs, with their skincare, with their whatever. You know, me, I help people write books, and I help people do things they thought were impossible, and I help people overcome that crap that's in all of our heads, including used to be mine, and create powerful days on purpose with intended focus and ritual, and eliminate the gobbledygook that we all drown ourselves in until we don't. So the truth is you're infinitely powerful. The truth is you're capable. I don't care where you are, what you're doing. You can have what you want. The way to do that, I have finally discovered after years, decades of messing around, is to figure out who I'm being every day and to create that reality. One day at a time, one morning at a time, one moment at a time. Who do I have to be? What are those actions? And then to take them. That's why I love being a coach. Is because I'm in the people encouragement business. I'm in the business of helping people dance on the victory line. Yeah, I love that. I'm in the business of building champions, helping people achieve that impossible dream. I've never had so much fun. Even when I had executive positions and I made all kinds of money, blah, 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 and I had positions and authority and everything else, it was nothing like the joy I get now. And that's the truth. And it's also your truth that you have infinite capability. There's no limit except the one you believe in. And that's something it took me. You know, I'm 66. I changed my life completely when I was 52. So the first 50 years of life, I was limited. And between 52 and 66, now these 14 and a half years, I have been working to eliminate, understand, and eliminate those limits and create. And that's the truth. And if I, after being through the valley of death and all the other nonsense, and if you want any details, go read the book, Tightrope of Depression. My journey from darkness, despair, and death to light, love, and life. Go read that book if you want the details. But what matters isn't the details. What matters is you can do this. What matters is you can create anything you want. You really can. And I used to hear people say that, and it used to make me mad because I thought, yeah, you're just saying that crap, so I'll buy your stuff. Well, I'm not even selling anything. I'm just here to tell you, yeah, I am. I'm selling you on your own power. I'm selling you on your own skill. I'm selling you on the right and opportunity you have to create whatever you want to have. And yeah, I coach and I help people do that, but that isn't what this is about, because that part doesn't even matter until someone thumps their fist on the table and says, I've had enough of where I am now. I'm moving. So I share this with you today because something happened in the last couple of days. It's made me real passionate about this. And so I'm dancing on my desk here, sharing this message of love and invitation with you. The truth. You can have anything you want. That's the truth. Start today. I'll see you at the finish line. We'll see you.